What's happening, y'all? I ain't gonna lie, I'm hot as hell. And all this black. But before I put this hat on, I wanted y'all to see, you know, the do. You know, and take it out of his pre-made bun that I put up. With no, might I add, I didn't have to use any hair ties to put my hair in a bun. I learned how to put it in a bun without a hair tie. So yeah, what your girl see your girl, all did up, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I get my hair done. I just pick and choose when I do it. But happy Friday. Now, y'all know what the rule is. Bucket hat for the show. So let's get this bucket hat on. Oh, now we in show mode. You dig me, baby? Alright. So, how y'all doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope y'all tuning in to a happy Friday. I did that on the last episode and I actually enjoyed that song. So if you like my little Happy Friday song, holla at your girl. You dig me? So happy Friday. How are we doing? Y'all know how we do. We kick the shits before we get into it. So as y'all know, today is Podcast Fridays. But before we jump into the Podcast Fridays, did you guys check out Black History Monday? And did you check out the first episode from our miniseries Anguished? If you have not, click the link, go watch the mini-series, and go watch Black History. Go watch either one. Go watch them all. Get caught up with your girl, okay? Get caught up with your girl, okay? Because every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'm dropping the miniseries, whether it's Anguished or another miniseries, whichever one I got going on. The miniseries runs from March 19th to May 7th. So it's 8 episodes. So, and YouTube already has them all scheduled to the release. All you gotta do is turn your notification bell on for me, and you'll get notified every time I drop a new post. So for sure, you guys are getting guaranteed content from me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for sure. And then on the weekends, I might pop in and talk to you guys and see how y'all doing. But, that's your host with the most with the information for you. So, as y'all know, it's your host with the most, Real Taylor Nicole, and I'm back at it again with another video for y'all. You dig me? Okay? So, I gave y'all a little catch up. Oh, by the way, if you want to watch the full mini series of Anguish, the full 18-minute clip without having to wait week after week, if you become a member on my Patreon, I believe you just have to become a paid member. I think it's a $3 membership. You should be able to watch Anguish. If it's not, drop it in the comment section below and let me know that it's not like that, and I'll update it. But it should be, as long as you're a $3 membership, you should be able to, get to see the full episode of Anguished, or season. I'm sorry, full season of Anguished. The reason why I chose to do 2 minutes is because people have a short attention span, so why not? But yeah, there's that. Let's get into this episode today for you guys. Today is episode 35, and we're dealing with the movie Gun Hill. It runs for an hour and 16 minutes. It's released July 2nd of 2014. The director of this movie was Reggie Rock By the Wood. What an interesting name that is. I guess you could say the producer, aka the original content holder, was BET. So BET was the original content holder for this movie. You can watch it on BET, BET Plus, Sling TV, Amazon Prime Video. Once again, that's BET, BET Plus, Sling TV, and Amazon Prime Video. There were several characters in this movie, but I'm gonna try this out where I only give you maybe 1 or 2 characters up front, and then tell y'all the rest of the characters as they come along the screen for me. I'm gonna try that out and see how I like that. So 2 of the main characters in the movie, or at least 2 of the people that were the, I guess, protagonists and antagonists in the movie, was Larenz Tate as Trey Stevens and Bird Stevens, and then Asha Hines as Arlene Carter. Those are the 2. That's the protagonist and antagonist. Those are the characters. There was plenty other protagonists and antagonists in the movie, but these are the main 2, I guess you can say. So as y'all know, before I like to jump into telling y'all about the film, I always like to say thank you to everyone who tunes in every week and watches the pod. I did ask a question previously in the last one. Would you guys like to see me do TV shows? So I think when I hit 60 episodes on the movies with Tay, I might take a break, a season break, and start talking about TV shows and see how that works out for us. And I still might, do a movie here and there. I might switch it up and do 1 week a movie, the next week a TV show. And, we'll see. I will see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. So the movie opens up with us seeing Bird Stevens at a train station, Gun Hill train station that is. And he goes to meet his twin brother, Train Stevens, who's also played by Lawrence Tate once again. And they meet up, they're sitting at a bar, they're talking, and Bird just got out of prison. So Bird is an ex-con and Train is a police officer, right? Excuse me. He's an undercover police officer. Well, they meet up at a bar and they're talking, and Bird finds out from Train that he has an 11-year-old son named Dante, uh, who is by his baby mother, Janelle Evans, who's played by, I don't know how to pronounce this young lady's name, so you'll see it on the screen. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm not going to butcher it. But basically, he finds out about him having a baby with his ex girlfriend before he went to jail, right? So, Bird asks Train for some money. He like, I need some bread. I just got out of jail. His brother like, nope. And that's how he find out that he has a baby, because Train gives him a picture of the little boy and like, this is where your money going every month. Every month I send her $600 to take care of your son while you've been locked up. So they kind of mad at Bird because he made the wrong decision and went down a bad hill. And Bird and Train's father died. Their mother is in a cuckoo nest because she lost her mind after Bird went to jail, I guess, is what they say. But anyway, um, so Bird and Train both leave the bar, and before they left the bar, it was this white dude who walked past Bird and Train with a snake on his neck that was looking at him. But Bird don't recognize him, and Train don't even look his way at all, right? So Bird and Train, once again, like I said, they were leaving the bar, and when they left the bar, and it's a spoiler alert, so it's a spoiler right in the beginning of the movie. When Bird and Train were leaving, the same cat that they seen at the bar, which basically pulled up on the side of them. Well, somebody in the clan pulled up on the side of them with the same tattoo, and the next thing you know, they start loading off on the car. They start shooting. Train drives off. Bird's on the passenger seat. Train tells Bird where the gun is and tells him, basically to shoot back. They get to shooting back, and eventually, Train gets shot in the neck, and he basically dies from getting shot in the neck. And Bird takes his brother out of the car, like he shoots back and all this other stuff. I think he hit one of the dudes too, but he gets his brother out of the car, takes his brother to a body of water, ties his weight on him, some other stuff on him, and just drops him in a body of water. I was like, that's fucked up. Like, that is your twin. Like, he could have easily just said that, his brothers got out of jail and got killed. Nobody would have thought anything of it. Nobody would have thought anything of it. They wouldn't be able to tell them apart anyway. They're twins, identical twins, so they wouldn't have been able to tell them apart. They wouldn't have been able to tell who was who, right? But instead, he dropped his brother's body in a body of water. So now he's got to pretend to be his brother. He finds out where his brother lives, and he goes to his brother's crib, goes searching through his brother's stuff, and finds a stack of cash in a duffel bag, right? And he getting ready to skip town, but before he skips town, he goes to go see his baby mama, Janelle, and their son, Dante. And I forget who Dante was. I'm gonna put that on the screen. I keep forgetting what Dante's real name was, but it'll probably pop up on the screen with the who played that character. I mean, who played Dante. But anyway, so he goes to go see them, and she thinks that he's Train, but he's not. Of course, he's Bird. She just don't know that. She thinking it is him. So they're communicating, and he asks to go see, Dante. He gets to go see his son. Mind you, she still thinks he's Train. She does not think he's Bird. She thinks he's Train. He goes to go see his son, and gets to see his son, and he was getting ready to get on the highway and just leave. He was getting ready to skip town and get out of there. But instead, he he decides to stay. And because he stole his brother's identity, now he has to learn these people who he has no idea who they are. So while he's at his brother's crib, he gets a knock on the door from Andrea Logan, who's played by uh, Tawny Cypress, who apparently plays Train's love interest. That's his girl, if you will. And he don't know who she is, but he knows she clearly has some type of connection to his brother because she ended up giving him that round. And then that happens. Excuse me. And Bird finds out he has to go to this little meeting that Train had set up. Bird has no idea who his brother really is. He knows his brother's a cop, but he don't know what kind of cop he is, and he don't know the ins and outs of what's going on. So Bird ends up going to the little meeting that Train had, and this is where he finds out a little bit more. He can't figure out what his brother is, but he knows that the meeting he goes to is a drug meeting. And when he goes to the meeting, he messes up the meeting by asking for more weight than what they had given him, right? And he didn't show up with the money. So they like, go get the money and we'll, you know, go from here, right? So Webb is the guy's name that he went to go meet up with, Webb. And and Bird messes up the deal. So Webb gets suspicious of Bird, aka Train, um, and tells Danny and another guy to go after him. Andrews is his name, is the character's name. Tells them to go after him and make sure, and if he don't got the money, kill his ass, basically. So when they get out there, um, Semi, who is played by Semi Faraj, who's played by Shanti Ashanti, and then Danny, who was played by Danny Radin, who was played by Michael Arnova. They ended up saving Bird, aka Trans ass, by killing Andrews and letting Semi and Bird get out of there. He don't know what's going on. He has no idea who these people are. He don't know what's going on. He's just trying to go with the flow. And what threw me off is because since he didn't know who these people were, they didn't question his inconsistency. Like he acted surprised. He didn't know what was going on. So she drives him back to the police station, and Bird gets fired / suspended off the case by their captain, Sanford, who's played by Hashim Tofkif. I don't know. But he gets suspended by him, and he tells him to go clean out his desk. But when he first got to the police precinct, Bird didn't have a clue where Tran's desk was. He kind of was guessing. He had to kind of look around and see, and nobody questioned it. Like, why don't he know where his desk is? Like, why is he walking around looking suspicious and stuff? Nobody questioned it though. And like I said, he ended up getting suspended. And Danny had came in. Danny's undercover too. Danny's a cop, but he's undercover. Semi is also undercover. She's a cop as well. Well, Danny ends up coming in after Bird, aka Tran, got suspended, and he start putting his hands on Bird. Well, Bird can squabble, so Bird start whooping his ass. Like they got to fighting back, and Bird was like, "Nah, nigga, you ain't beating my ass." So they start fighting, and so they fight, they break it up. The captain and Andrea have a conversation about him kicking Tran off the case, and she like, "You might have made a bad idea, made a bad decision." But Bird had told Captain, like, "I'm telling you, Webb is not the big fish. I could tell he ain't the big fish. You gotta just believe me." Now Bird is using his street instincts. They don't have a clue that Bird is not Tran. They think that he's Tran this entire time. They don't have a clue. And the difference between the two of them was that Bird had a goatee and Tran just had just the mustache. So he had to shave his goatee off so he can blend in and look just like his brother. Because everybody else was confused, like, where the hell does this beard come from? I mean, this goatee come from all of a sudden. So he had to shave it off so nobody else would think anything of it. But anyway, so like I said, Andrea and Cap have this conversation about kicking him off, and then um, Bird goes to see their mother, Marva Stevens, and like I said, their mother is in the cuckoo nest. So, so Marva Stevens is played by Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, and when Bird goes to see his mom, he's still pretending to be Tran with his mom. Like he doesn't, or Train, I think it's Tran or Train, whatever. He still pretends to be him, but as he's talking to his mama, she's ignoring him. She's not paying him no mind until he got ready to leave. And when he got ready to leave, she grabbed his hand and she was like, "You're Bird." So she knew, and which it makes sense, a mother would know. She knew that he wasn't Tran and he was Bird. She knew. She wasn't no fool. She wasn't no boo-boo the fool. She knew that he was really Bird. He tried to play it off and like, "No, mom, I'm not Bird. I'm not Bird." Well, after that, he leaves his mama. We don't see mama no more after that, by the way. Um, Now Bird is in a situation where he needs to figure out exactly who the hell his brother is and what his brother got going on. So he's been trying to crack the code on his brother's computer, but can't crack it. So he ends up going and he has dinner with his kid, aka fake nephew. Oh wait, no, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry. Because the movie kind of was all over the place. Not gonna lie to you. So after that incident, him seeing his mother and him trying to figure out who his brother is, they ended up bringing in a kid, named Lee, who was played by Dante Clark, by the way, and they brought him in because he had a recording of him recording his friend getting high off of crystal meth, and she ended up ODing and dying from the crystal meth. So they bring him in for questioning and interrogating him, and they found out the kid is cousins with Arlene Carter, who is actually the big fish in the gang, but don't nobody know that. They think she's just a middleman, right? So they bring him in. He snitches on his own cousin, and um, he tells them that she put him up to it and how they pay people to, record black people take drink, smoking and whatever the case may be, and they pay you for it. Well, Cap brings Bird Tran back in and basically lets him know, like, "I made a mistake. I'm gonna give you another shot, on the case because I clearly made a mistake. You were right. Webb isn't the big fish." And which I forget who Webb. I forgot who played Webb. I don't think I put in here who played Webb. But if you look at IMDb, you'll find out who played Webb. I forget. I think it's in here somewhere. I just don't remember where I put it. But anyway, so basically, Bird like, "Man, nigga, I don't want this job back," but he take it back because he realized he already came too far to back away, and plus he can't. He's pretending to be his brother now, so he has to continue doing the work. So now that Bird, aka Tran, is back on the case, they start rolling up on people who work for Arlene. So they run up on this cat named Freddie first, and they pretty much start taking over the streets. You know what I'm saying? Bird comes through and starts cleaning up the streets and taking Arlene's employees and putting them off out of business. You know what I mean? Like they working for him now, basically. And at this point, after he starts putting her out of business, Arlene goes to go see her cousin, Lee, and asks Lee what did he tell the police, and he tells him he told him nothing. And he was like, "I'm still in jail, ain't I? Like, I ain't tell him nothing." So Arlene kind of don't believe him. Webb don't believe him. And, at this point, they like, what do we do? Because, you don't believe him. Arlene like, "I kind of believe him, but I don't believe him." So we find out from Danny snitching. He calls their captain, which he's a cop, so he's supposed to snitch, of course. But Danny calls the cap and tells the cap, like, they put a hit out on Lee. Y'all need to hurry up. Y'all don't got much time. And when he told him that, one of the workers overheard it, but No context to what happens after that. They just overheard it. And and when that happens, this is now Bird, aka Tran, is now he has dinner with Janelle and Dante, his son, aka fake nephew, and finds out his BM was talking trash about him, call him no good, can't get his life together. Like she was talking trash about him to their son to the point where he repeated what she said to him and it hurt his feelings. But him being him and pretending to be Tran, he talked good about himself and told them what he was into and what kind of person he was and all of this and all of that. So now it gives Dante a different outlook on who his daddy was, or daddy is, should I say, versus what his, I mean, not Dante. Yeah, that gives Dante a different look on how his daddy really is. Now, in the streets, Tran's nickname is Giant for like his undercover work. So they call him Giant. And he goes to a nightclub and he's in a nightclub that's ran by Arlene. He knows that though. Bird knows that. And he in there kicking it, putting people out their sections, turning up, having a good time. So now, with that being said, Arlene peeps game and realizes that that's who that is, who's been putting her people off their blocks. So she comes over and talks to him, and basically, like so you're the infamous Giant. You the one who been trying to make noise in these streets and make it hard for me, huh? So they go into her office and they conduct some business. Well, while they're conducting some business, Bird proposes a business proposition for Arlene, and it's basically let him take over, and she be his wing woman. She stay out the way and let him run the game. And she like, heck no, I ain't doing that. So she tried to be slick and pull a shotgun out on him, and basically was gonna try to, take him out. But he tells her, before you do that, you might want to go check and see why your club is quiet all of a sudden. You might just want to go check. She gets out there and they got everybody hush hush. Everybody hush hush. And now that they got everybody hush hush and everything, now she realized she ain't got no choice. So Webb ends up telling Danny, like, look, somehow Giant Train has taken over Queens and he's overthrown Arlene. So now we back doing business with Giant. All right. And Danny like, what you mean we back? He's still trying to play his role so it don't look like, nothing different. And they, so they back in business. Cool. So the tactic worked. So now, Danny's now trying to be slick and find out who Webb's boss is. And Webb like, that's classified. Can't tell you that. So now that Bird is on top, or Tran, it's kind of confusing. But now that Bird is pretend to be Tran, of course. Keep that in mind. Bird is pretending to be his brother. Now that he's on the top, he's the big dog on campus in the meth game. Now they come to him and talk business, right? He didn't assume his drug dealer role a little too much, right? But now he done did so well that he done basically told Webb he need to talk to the big man because he know Webb ain't the big man. So Webb sets up a meeting for him to go meet with their general, Tommy Griffin, who's played by Eric Jensen. And he goes and meets with Tommy. They have a little powwow, and he basically, presents a bigger business opportunity for the both of them, and they go from there. Previously, they had gave Bird a white jacket that had a camera on it for it to record just strictly video, no audio. And to start the recording, you had to press it down and clamp the button. So that's what he did, so that they could see who the big man on campus was. So now that they got evidence that Webb is not the big dog and it's actually Tommy is the big dog out of the clan. So, after they get all that resumed, Bird tries to get him some little coochie again from Andrea, but it ain't work out. she shut that down real quick. But Bird ends up meeting with Danny, Semi, Timms, and Mason, which are all undercover slash, well, some of them are undercover cops and some of them are just regular cops. But they end up meeting up together. They get to talk, and then they come up with a plan on what to do next to bring down Tommy. And they get to talking. Danny notices that not only is Train, aka Bird, drinking, but he just doesn't seem like himself, and he can fight. Like, he notices that wasn't who Tran was, right? So after everybody gets done catching up and coming up with a plan, Danny pulls Bird to the side, Tran, and he talks to him, and pretty much let him know that he noticed that something's off about him because nothing is adding up. You can fight, you're drinking, and Bird tells Danny, like, I made a promise. Like I said, remember, he's pretending to be Tran. So Bird, aka Tran, tells Danny that pretty much he made a promise that he wouldn't drink because of how it turned out for his brother and his daddy and blah blah blah. So that's why Tran didn't drink. But he said that it was time for him to take that cape off. In other words, he's trying to come up with an elaborate reason. And it might be the real reason. We don't know because Tran's really dead. But anyway, so Bird was spending so much time trying to crack the code on Tran's computer that he finally figured it out after all the wrong passwords. He finally put in his name, Bird, and then unlocked the computer, and he got to learn all he needed to learn about his brother, all he needed to learn about Danny, and that was that. Well, they end up having a meeting with Tommy for the big business opportunity that Bird, aka Tran, set up for Tommy. They end up meeting, having a whole little conversation and everything, and Bird is wearing the jacket still, the recorder jacket, right? So when he gets there, he finds out that Tommy was two-timing him this whole time and was gonna just take him out anyway. So he tries to have people take him out, but of course Danny is really on their side, so it all backfires because Danny starts shooting and taking out people, and they all having this little shootout or whatever, and Bird, aka Tran, saves Danny's life because Webb was getting ready to try to shoot and kill Danny, and Tommy was also going to try to. So he ended up killing Webb and then taking out or he didn't kill Tommy, but he shot Tommy and stopped him. And basically that's basically what happens. They have a little shootout, and then Timms ends up getting shot and killed. That's one of the cops, the undercover cops. He ends up getting shot and killed, unfortunately. And everybody's sad but Tran because he don't really know that nigga like that no way, so he ain't really sad. And he ends up talking to Danny and giving Danny this comfort that he was really Tran, even though we know he's not. He's Bird. And he has that moment with him, and then he goes and takes his son, fake nephew, fishing, and then him and his fake nephew, real son, basically comes to the terms that fishing is boring. So they go have some fun, play some arcade games and everything else. Well, when the final scene of the movie, Bird is on the elevator going back up to his brother's house, which once again, Bird has been pretending to be Tran this whole time, so he has to stay in the house. And he goes up to the house. When he gets on the elevator, he realizes that the white guy they got on the elevator. See, the same white guy been getting on and off the elevator with him a lot in the movie. And every time he gets on and off this little elevator, it's always the same white man, but it's always him. It's always him, the white man, and somebody else on the elevator. So they never really had time alone. Well, in the final scene, Bird and this white guy that had the tattoo of the snake on his neck are on the elevator again. And this time, Bird recognizes that tattoo, so now he knows some shit is up, right? So he turns his back to him and they get to fighting, they get to squabbling, right? And the guy tries to shoot Bird, and Bird ends up turning the gun and popping him instead. But Bird is like so, confused because he like which one of us are you really after? Because he was like he asked him, said, why you kill my brother? He said, I don't give a fuck about your brother. And he was like, well, which twin are you after? Like, which twin are you after? Like, is what they, what he trying to find out. But unfortunately, the dude died, so he don't know what twin they was after. And it says to be continued. I haven't seen another Gun Hill Part 2 anywhere. I don't know if they're ever going to do one because Lorenz Tate, he still look good for his age, but I don't know if he's going to want to do another Part 2 now because it's been almost 11 years since this one dropped. So I don't know. Um, I couldn't find a Part 2 anywhere. So that's basically how the movie goes, and that's that. So for my notes section, in my notes, I just like to say the movie it was kind of good. It just was really quick. The movie really was. It was really really quick. Um, I really don't feel like this was Lorenz Tate's best movie. To be honest with you, I've never seen it before. Probably will never watch it again. To be completely honest with you, because it really wasn't. It wasn't a bad movie. It's just not a movie I would pop back on and be like, "Oh, let's watch this again." Um, I don't understand how no one questioned his identity until the end. Like that's when people wanted to start questioning his identity. There were so many red flags that he wasn't really trans in the beginning, and nobody questioned his identity. Not even the crazy part is the chick he was messing with, Andrea, the Tran was messing with, and then Janelle, Bird's baby mama. You two heifers should have been the first two that should have questioned that man's identity. Because Janelle should have known Bird. Like how his mama knew Bird, Janelle should have known Bird. She should have known that Tran was not Bird. She should have known. I'm sorry. She should have known that Bird was not Tran. I said that backwards. She should have known that Bird was not Tran. Because how do you not know? This is your child's father. There should have been something about him that should have instantly registered to you that this is Bird. This is not Tran. This is odd. Especially when he went to go see their son. It should have registered. And then for Andrea, you've clearly been having relations with Tran for a while now, right? So when you were having relations with Tran and then you had relations with Bird in the shower, how did you not know the difference between both men? Twins are not that identical in that department. They might look identical, but they are not identical in that department. There should have been something off. And then um I did something different that I haven't done on any of the other films. I did an acting wise per character rating, and I didn't do all of them. I just did some of them. Danny, I gave a 4.6 out of 10. His acting was okay. It could have been better. Semi, I gave her a 6.5 out of 10. She did pretty good for this time I seen her. Mason, 5 out of 10. He did good for the short time he was on the screen. Tim's a 6.8 out of 10. He did, pretty good, from the short time I seen him on the screen. He's playing this goofy, cop. Webb, a 3 out of 10. His acting was horrible to me. In every shot I seen him in. He just was able to deliver his lines, but there was no emotion behind his character. There was nothing. It was just bland to me. Tommy, 4.6 out of 10. Same thing. His acting, it screamed that he's really racist, is how his acting came off. So that's why he got a 4.6 out of 10. Tran Bird, 7.9 out of 10. Lorenz Tate does pretty good in most of his movies, but this one was one of the ones I could not give him a 10 out of 10 on. It just, some of the scenes were very unbelievable to me, unfortunately. Arlene is 6.9 out of 10. She really didn't capture that gangsta bitch vibe that she was supposed to be trying to give off. She did good though. She really did. She did good. Like her acting wasn't stale. It was, easy to follow her, but she didn't really pull out that raw gangsta girl vibe that she was supposed to carry. Like that boss bitch vibe. Um, um, the little scandalous ass snake tattoos that they had on their neck, I think they were snakes, maybe. They were some raggedy ass tattoos. Whoever drew them shits could have did better, because them tattoos was trash. But I didn't I don't what confused me about the movie was I don't know which twin the gang was coming after because, and I know neither did Tate, but usually when you watch a movie, you can tell, you can get the answers by the end of the movie, and the characters still be confused, but you're not. I really was confused on which one of the twins they was after. Were they after Train or were they after Bird? You know, like which twin were they really after? Because I don't know. Um, so with that being said, and concluding the film, I like to rate the film, and I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10. It was not a bad movie, but like I said, it wasn't one I would just go back and rewatch again. So I give it like a 6 out of 10. And that's me being nice, because really I would give it a 4.5 out of 10 because it wasn't that great of a movie. It could have been done better. It definitely could have been done better. But like I said, it was an okay movie. Danny Webb and a few other people was acting at the time. It could have been done better. It just really could have. As I told y'all earlier in the note section about what their ratings were for I think I actually mixed my notes up with my conclusion on God. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Um, but yeah, I just in a conclusion, I just don't know. It just wasn't 6 out of 10. I said that's me being nice. 4.5 out of 10 is probably what I really would have gave it, but it wasn't that bad of a movie where I wanted to turn it off 30 minutes in. Like it wasn't that bad of a movie, I guess. So 6 out of 10. I do feel like everybody who was on the screen, I still give them props and kudos because they did something that most people aren't capable or wanting to do or able to do, which is act. They got out there, they delivered those lines, they did a good job. However, um, there wasn't enough power behind the story, wasn't enough power behind the roles. I feel like a lot of people was just kind of lacking in that department of bringing that fire to their characters, if that makes sense. Um, but I feel like maybe the movie might have been low budgeted, or maybe it just was one of those little runoff movies that somebody wrote, wanted to shoot real quick, and get paid off of a film. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know. That's why I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it still was done in good taste. The storyline was a little bit hard to follow because it did jump around a lot, and some shit just didn't make sense when I was watching the movie. Some shit just really just didn't make sense. Why it was here, what was there, like a whole bunch of stuff just was confusing in the movie. But it's still, you know, whatever. Um, if you're looking for a movie with a decent storyline, maybe a little chaos here and there, a little bit of action, a little bit of drama. This movie's okay to watch. I would say if you've never seen it, maybe when you got time and you don't have nothing else you really want to do, pop it on and watch it and come back and tell me what you think. I honestly, that's my honest opinion. For the first time, I found a movie that I really just did not like. For the very first time, because I haven't. It's the first time I found a movie I just did not like, and this is one of the movies I just did not like. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's been your host with the most. I do thank everyone for tuning in and watching with your girl. Please make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to come tell another friend to watch a friend doing a podcast. Argue with your mama. I'm out.